Hello, good evening and welcome to JoyNews Prime with me, Razak Musbao. We are coming to you from our studios here at Kokomlemle. We are live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 and across the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up, the Ghana Bar Association proposes full transparency in the process for the removal of a Chief Justice by making petitions public and allowing a Chief Justice the chance to defend him or herself in open proceedings. We have details of the recommendations.
Having been informed as a country that petitions against the Chief Justice have been filed, you are repeatedly asked, at what point in time does the country get to know the contents of the petitions? What if the petitions are frivolous?
Also, the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government demanding the immediate arrest and prosecution of military personnel allegedly involved in the recent shooting incident at Nyinahin and Obuasi. Well, we have this and more coming up here on JoyNews Prime. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please do stay for details. Welcome back. Now, the Ghana Bar Association, initially holding back on firm position regarding the proceedings against the Chief Justice, has proposed a full transparency in making petitions public and allowing a Chief Justice the chance to defend him or herself in open proceedings. These are part of proposals the President of the Bar is offering for reforms in the 1992 Constitution. Ifwa Agate at the Bar's mid-year conference held at the Labadi Beach Hotel indicated that the Bar is monitoring developments in the processes and will comment when the time is right.
Another such committee, the Public Awareness Committee, is one that seeks to educate the public on topical legal issues. One such issue, which is currently on the lips of Ghanaians, as a result of the publicity associated with the process triggered for the removal of the Chief Justice, is what is a prima facie case? People then go on to ask, what is the raison d'etre for establishing a prima facie case? Are there any standards to be met in concluding that a prima facie case has been established? Having been informed as a country that petitions against the Chief Justice have been filed, you are repeatedly asked, at what point in time does the country get to know the contents of the petitions? What if the petitions are frivolous, but steps have been taken which may impugn the reputation of the person against whom the petitions have been filed? Assuming that there is a hearing, how long should the hearing be? Can the Chief Justice elect to have the proceedings heard in public instead of in camera? And many more such questions. This process is a novel one in our history as a country, and we, the Bar, must continue to monitor the situation and not hesitate to express our opinion on it where the circumstances demand. It is important that in such matters, justice is not only done, but manifestly be seen to have been done. Indeed, it is for this reason that in the wisdom of the Supreme Court, in the 2020 judgment of the Republic versus the Chief Justice and the Attorney General, reference number 36/027019, the court led by Doche JSC, in the epilogue of the judgment, called for the formulation of rules of procedure for the impeachment of Article 71 office holders in the conduct of proceedings under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. The judgment concluded, and I quote, "Judges be accorded a fair measure of justice fairness, and equity in all deliberations that affect them. It is about time that these guidelines were produced in order to eliminate arbitrariness in such proceedings, which ought to be held expeditiously and possibly in open court, given the necessary publicity such matters attract.
Now, beyond that, Ifwagate turned the spotlight on illegal mining, revealing the association's plans to take a frontline role in the fight to protect Ghana's environment and future.
Galamsey is an issue which continues to plague the country's developmental process. The association is committed to playing important roles in the fight against Galamsey, roles including but not limited to promoting the rule of law by pushing for stricter enforcement and amendments to existing legislation and encouraging citizens to report illegal mining activities. This is to ensure that transparency and accountability are encouraged within the legal system. Lawyers have contributed and continue to contribute their quota to strengthening our institutions by, among other things, serving on boards of various institutions. Per the minutes of the Ghana Bar Association dated 24th November 1972, the statutory and international bodies that some members of the association served on were 6 in number, including one known as Ghana UNESCO. However, today, per the available records, members of the association serve on not less than 35 statutory bodies, which number ought to be increased, considering the number of statutory bodies operating in Ghana now. By so doing, these statutory bodies will hopefully be spared any needless legal challenge which can impede the function of the statutory body towards the development of the said sector.
Now, away from that, the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government demanding the immediate arrest and prosecution of military personnel allegedly involved in the recent shooting incident at Nyinahin and Obuasi. Addressing a press conference during a visit to victims of the clash at Nyinahin, Acting Regional Secretary Ba Achiamfo expressed outrage over what he described as unprovoked and brutal attacks on civilians by soldiers in the two communities. The NDC claims that the victims of the two incidents are party members and must not be subjected to such cruelty. And Boachi Yadom reports.
Recent shooting at Nyinahin claimed 1 life, with 4 others injured during a clash between some military personnel and a group of mourners. The Obuasi clash earlier this year also left 9 dead as miners who are reported to have breached a security fence at one of the abandoned concessions of Anglo-Gold Ashanti were confronted by military personnel on guard. But the NDC in the Ashanti region is unhappy with the development, accusing the military of using excessive force under the pretext of clamping down on illegality. According to the Acting Regional Secretary, Ba Achiamfo, the party frowns on these acts, demanding immediate investigations.
Osho Obuasi incidents, now team said target killing. They targeted them because about 7 of them. It will be born free nachi any PNM. So it means say Sasimbi are not Ojane, Emremono Senipano, Yemonitu, and one better ho, Asia Cataso, Yanka Honshe, and a soldier for Nebi Asho Munkran say ya.
The Obuasi incident is a target killing that hasn't been investigated. This is the same thing that has happened here at Nyinahin, where our party member is shot dead for wearing a military camo. We need the soldier in question to be arrested.
Now ma ro soro ma aka for men hwehwe wo form etimi nwura no nka ho dia so mebe otu aku. And you could clearly see say I soldier no to no bodam and anaju nya dwuma say yin free soldier num. We intend dey hia say you betena say kusu asebo ni abebua. Nipa otutu no whether he's politically motivated and so your bodam for and say you didn't Ghana soldier for ho. Clearly I saw your investigation near yin free mutem.
He has given the government a 2-week ultimatum to conclude on the investigation or face a massive demonstration.
You know brother dem fi me no na ye adwuma Ashanti region. We are deputy defense minister. These
soldiers should be investigated alongside those who are involved in the Obuasi incident. If government fails, I will lead a protest.
Because we need to find justice. For what reason?
The NDC in Ashanti, led by its chairman Augustus Nana Akwesi, donated 15,000 Ghana cedis to the family of the deceased at Nyinahin. He appealed for immediate government intervention in bringing the perpetrators to book.
It's very uncalled for, and we condemn it, and we are appealing to the President of the Republic of Ghana, my President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. This is not the first time. It has happened at Obuasi. They've killed 9 of our men. And up to now, we haven't heard anything. I'm also a human being. It can happen to me anytime. This is not politics. We are appealing to the President of the Republic of Ghana that they have to investigate and let the deceased family be happy. Because the gentleman we are talking about has about 7 kids. He has wives. He has mother, father, and nephews. They are all crying. Nobody is going to take good care of them. What we need is justice.
For JoyNews, Nana Boachidankwe Kumasi.
Now, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced plans to introduce a new bill to Parliament regarding the University for Development Studies. This bill aims to review the legislation that established the university, aligning it with current policy and academic aspirations. The minister disclosed this at the UDS annual leadership lecture session ahead of the swearing-in of the governing board held in Tamale.
Minister was at the event and also to swear in the new governing board of the University for Development Studies. Delivering his speech, the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, said he would write to the Attorney General for a new regulation for the university.
My understanding is that your council worked on the review of the legislation establishing the University for Development Studies. Let me assure you that I will introduce a new bill on this university before Parliament before the end of this year. It will reflect the policy aspirations and the academic aspirations, including your expanded remit of what you want to do, including the strengthening the new faculty of law.
The minister later swore in the 50-member board of the university.
Brought under my consideration.
Mr. Idrisu tasked the council to work to preserve the identity of the UDS.
President Mahama has asked me to convey to you his utmost trust and confidence in your integrity, your enormous and diverse experiences as members of council, to bring it to bear, and that I should encourage you to work to preserve the identity of the University for Development Studies.
He also commended the UDS for its 3rd semester field program.
One of the unique features of the University for Development Studies, whilst we listened to Vice Chancellor, was your 3rd trimester practical training of students, popularly dubbed as TTFPP, where students engage in community internship relative to their program of study. Maybe I should share this with you. Can you imagine, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that in the run-up to any election, if political parties were to run to UDS, that any student returning from a community came and left the problem of the community on this campus, it will help enrich the manifestos of political parties to respond to the felt needs of those communities.
And to the central region now, where the Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, Nyinahin the Sixth, has urged the youth to become advocates of peace and agents of unity and development rather than instruments of violence. He made this call during the 29th congregation of UEW, particularly emphasizing the need for peace in Boko and surrounding areas where ongoing conflict has disrupted lives and education. Central Regional Correspondent Eric Ashanti has more in the following report.
The 29th graduation ceremony at the University of Education Winneba saw 6,969 graduates, comprising 3,769 males, with the remaining being females. Speaking at the ceremony, the Chancellor of the University, Nyinahin the Seventh, urged the youth, particularly those in conflict-affected Boko, to become champions of unity and development.
I rise today not only as Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, but as a concerned Ghanaian, to make a heartfelt and passionate appeal to the good people of Boko and its surrounding communities. Let peace reign. Let the guns go silent. Let peace speak louder in Boko. Let us silence the guns and raise the voices of reason, unity, and brotherhood. Let us remember that conflict only brings suffering, loss, and destruction, not only to lives and property, but of the future dreams of our young ones. Boko is a land rich in culture, strength, and resilience. Its people have long been known for their industrial spirit. But today, that spirit is being tested. Families are being torn apart. Children cannot go to school, and livelihoods are crumbling under the weight of persistent violence. We cannot educate a nation where part of it burns. We cannot and must not allow this to continue.
The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Stephen Jobs Mutual, advised the graduating class to carry the values of the University of Education Winneba into the world of work.
You have journeyed through sleepless nights, tight deadlines, personal sacrifices, and moments of doubt. And today you stand tall, adored in success. You are not just recipients of degrees, you are embodiments of determination and a proof that hard work pays off. As you step into the world beyond the university walls, I urge you to carry with you the values that define the University of Education Winneba: discipline in your actions and decisions, excellence in your pursuits, and service to your communities and country.
He outlined major strategic investments by the University of Education Winneba aimed at enhancing teaching and learning.
In addition, we have boosted the examination unit of the college by appointing additional examination officers to support the growing demands of academic administration. These strategic investments are already contributing to faster turnaround times and a more efficient system, enhancing academic experience for our students while enforcing our long-standing commitment to academic integrity and excellence.
Well, you're still tuned in to JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more stories. Please do. Hi there, welcome back. Now, malnutrition remains a silent crisis in Ghana. Despite steady progress, Ghana continues to battle child malnutrition. As of 2018, 21% of children were stunted, and only 13% of children aged 6 to 23 months were receiving a minimum acceptable diet. However, the Ghana Health Service is working urgently to change this. Its goal is to cut the national stunting rate to 14% by 2025. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Samuel Kaba, Director General of the Ghana Health Service, says that Ghana should not be content with the current levels of malnutrition. He reaffirmed his commitment to eliminating malnutrition, commonly referred to as kwashiorkor, across the country.
22 years ago, for the first time in the history of the world, a Jamaican pediatrician working in Ghana, Cecily Williams, described the first word, or one of the few words that went into the dictionary, and they are Ghanaian words, and it's a Ghan word. It's from the land called kwashiorkor. So kwashiorkor, which described the child with the stomach because of lack of proteins, yeah, and that's 92 years ago. So 92 years down the line, we should not feel so happy to still have malnutrition. Our children should have the best in life and the best to grow healthy. And we are ready to partner with you and learn from you and get the best out of your health system. Let me also add that if our children don't have that capacity to grow, well, then it doesn't only fail our health system, it fails our productivity, it fails the economy. We look forward that in the coming years, we'll be talking about malnourishment, free Ghana. We'll be
Now, established in 2017, the Ajinomoto Foundation leads the Ghana Nutrition Improvement Project, a multi-stakeholder initiative launched in 2009 that developed Cocoa Plus, a supplement designed to boost the nutritional value of traditional complementary foods for Ghanaian children. At the signing of a new memorandum of understanding with the Ghana Health Service, the Japanese Ambassador Hiroshi Yoshimoto, underscored the vital role of the partnership in tackling malnutrition.
The importance of maternal and child nutrition cannot be overemphasized. It is well documented that first 1,000 days from pregnancy to the child's second birthday is an important period for every child's optimal development. At the same time, it is a period that can affect the child's ability to grow, run, and thrive if the right strategies are not adopted to improve the nutritional requirements of the child. This is why the partnership between the Ajinomoto Foundation and Cocoa Plus Foundation and GHS is important.
Well, that's all we have for you on JoyNews Prime today. But quick one, in football, Liverpool are now champions of the English Premier League following their win against Tottenham Hotspur by 5-1. Well, Arsenal will come second and the top four is still up for grabs. Well, we've got more stories for you on myjoyonline.com. My name is Razak Musbao. Thank you very much for your company.